What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zoo in November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by, your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day. That means it's time for another Hump Day Happy Hour, and you get a double dose tonight. We are streaming not once, but twice. That's right, 2 streams tonight because we are got so much stuff to cover. I need to wrap up Hamvention. No, that doesn't mean all the videos are out from Hamvention, but I need to get it wrapped up and get out of the way. And there's way too much stuff going on this weekend for me not to be telling you about. So we're doing 2 streams tonight. Patreons, we will be doing an After Dark on the second stream. So after the second stream, we'll be doing the After Dark as normal. Alrighty, real quick, shout out to all my Patreons. Speaking of you, picking up a couple more. I love seeing the Patreons grow. I love seeing you guys use your benefits. Please, that's what you guys are paying for, is these benefits. I really appreciate everybody contributing, but I'd like to see you guys get something out of it as well. And now for the second quarter numbers, and man, there's some shaking up going on this. Yeah. Actually, Hayden got bumped out of the top spot. Mr. Insane Clown Posse moves to the top spot. Evan came out of nowhere and went from not even on the board to third place. So got
nice job, Evan.
Got a lot of shaking up going on. I appreciate it. And anybody who contributes tonight, just know that we'll be going on the DC trip coming up this weekend, which we'll talk about later in the other stream. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about Hamvention. I hope some of you in the chat got to go to Hamvention. It was a lot of fun. The PP man's in the house. I see it in the chat right there. Always good to have the PP man. Scovane out there. Brian Whiskey Mike 8 Golf. A lot of people out there. I've seen Toby. I've seen Evan. But anyway, Hamvention. I have to be careful because I went to Hamcation and I went to Hamvention and I confused the names so many times. But first off, I want to tell you about the videos that I'm going to be having come out from Hamvention. I know you guys have seen a million videos of the walkthrough. You've seen a million of the interviews and stuff like that. And although I've got video of that, I ain't going to put it out. You guys have seen that. Plus, my interviews were not as good as I wanted to because I got the Rode wireless mics before I went. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to have good audio this time. And I get up there and the power button on the mics are not even working. I'm like, I paid all this money for this and it's not even working. I did come back, however, and take it back in. Do have a new one, but too little too late. So my videos will be different than everybody else's you see. I've got probably 4 that I'm going to put out that is really different. So I really am happy with those videos. It's more of what I liked out of it than anything, but I liked a lot of stuff out of it. All kinds of my friends there, all kinds of hunters there, all kinds of activators there. First off, I stayed in Caesars Creek State Park, and there was probably 12 other activators in Caesars Creek State Park. I mean, it was crazy. For example, I was doing my activations at like 6 o'clock in the morning before the show because I wanted to get them in because I knew probably I wouldn't have any other time to do it because I was that busy up there. But one morning I was on 40 at 6 o'clock in the morning. There was 3 activations going on 40. All 3 activations on 40 was coming out of that park. I mean, that was just absolutely crazy. I would get park to park. How far away from Xena? It was about 15, 18 minutes, unless you missed your turn. There was several people that missed a turn, including me the first day. And that 15, 18 minutes took like 40 minutes when you did that. Because because your GPS rerouted you a different way, and it was just crazy, crazy. But about 15, 18 minutes, so it was not bad at all. There was also another park, the Cedar Creek Wildlife Management Area, right down the road from it, and that was the first park I actually activated when I was up there on my way back to the park, and the people from the state park was parked to parking me at like 90 over and crap. It was nuts. I haven't looked at my stats, but I would say I'm probably close to a repeat offender for that park for hunting, just from park to parks, because it was absolutely crazy. Uh, the POTA experience at Hamvention was amazing. Matter of fact, I'm actually putting out a whole video called the POTA experience. But all the hunters and activators that I got to meet, like people were coming out of woodworks. I would walk by the POTA tent about every 3 or 4 hours, and there would be people sitting there waiting to meet me, and it was just an amazing, amazing feeling. Um, I know I don't know how many of you guys know or whatever, but we sort of talked about it on my live stream last week. Um, I better check my messages really quick, make sure that yep,
Oh,
so someone done bought a piece of pizza.
someone.
All right, well, thank you, someone who bought a piece of pizza. I'll have to go on my laptop to figure that who someone is later, but I will thank you. Uh, Actually, I said Bruce was in the lead, but I wanted to give him a shout out because he's donated twice since the last live stream. Neither time on air. He just watches videos and donates, so I appreciate that. And also, I'd like to say thank to Bruce because his wife is sick, and he didn't really have a lot of time to come down to Hamvention, and he drove like 2.5 hours just to make sure and meet me and hand me a personal QSO card. It's actually right over here. But I really appreciate that, Bruce. I appreciate everybody who came out and just searched me down to find me. I really do appreciate that. PP man is the someone. Thank you, PP man. PP bought me some pee.
So,
Oh god. So but anyway, on my live stream last week we talked about it. Some one of these lids. I don't know if it's one of the 7200 crew or they literally they go to the POTA page now and they see where I'm at and they just come to jam me, jam me, jam me. So last week, one of them was on the air threatening me, and I'm ignoring him as always. He said at one point he said he was coming to my house and he was going to take coax and putting it around my neck and choke me to death. And then the other guy said he'll be at Hamvention, just do it up there. So then after I signed off, one of the hunters stayed around and actually videoed them on air, just sitting and talking about it, and basically premeditating my murder. But and they posted it up, and of course it got jerked down. But so, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to Hamvention and try to stir this up. So the very first thing, well, not the very first thing, because I get into the parking for the media, and Ham Radio Crash Course pulls in there, and I'm walking in with him, and this dude is on a mission. Let me tell you, he's Mr. YouTube. One day I can only hope to be Mr. YouTube like Josh. He's amazing. Every time I get around him, I want to spend money because he's bought something else for YouTube. Matter of fact, the, this microphone he had that down in Florida. He also had the gimbal that I got down in Florida. He is still using that, but he's already upgraded his mics to the DJIs. Always making it, but anyway, he is just beelining it. He goes straight to ICOM for the announcement and live streams the announcement. I'm like, well, no use in putting that on my channel. That's done out there. I do have an interview with him about it, but it's done out there. But after that, the very first thing I do is I go to the flea market because I figure if there's going to be anybody from 7200 there that wants to choke me with coax, they're going to be in the flea market. So the first thing I do is I make my round of the flea market. I sit there and I go every single inch of the flea market. And let me tell you, the flea market was huge. There were so many people out there. But I made my rounds. I don't know if it's in here or not. I had my little badge. It had my name and call sign. I was making sure it was showing really good because if somebody wanted to choke me, I was giving them every opportunity for them to choke me because I wanted to go ahead and get it out of the way and go ahead and send them to the hospital really quick and get that out of the way. But then the POTA people made jokes of it all weekend long. All weekend long. They'd come up behind me and let a piece of coax dangle over me. And at one point, I went back to the POTA tent, and there's Carrie and Ray and Bill Brown. They're all wearing coax necklaces, every one of them. So we decided that I would walk around with a coax necklace just to make it easier in case they didn't have coax to choke me. I went ahead and put it there around my neck. That way, if they wanted to go ahead and choke me out, there it was. So
doesn't get any easier than that.
Don't get any easier than that. There's your opportunity. And I'll tell you, man, the people that would come up to me and talk to me about the 7200 activation was absolute crazy how many people actually know about that. I mean, and it's funny because now there's other people that's, of course, they're doing it during the day, and 7200 during the day is a lot tamer than 7200 at night. But I started a trend. I've seen a couple more activations on 7200 lately. So good for you guys. Trend away. Um, Also, I wanted to say that the buy me a coffee and the second quarter thing will not be updated in between streams. So if somebody does happen to pass Hayden again or pass Bruce, it won't be updated till next week's stream because I won't have time for that because we go straight into the second stream. Okay. Also, a lot of YouTubers there. We touched on the hunters and all that. Of course, I've met most of the YouTubers in person, but I did meet a couple of new ones that I had not met. Uh, we had Carlos. I was really happy to meet Carlos. Had a good time hanging out with him. Uh, Me and him sort of secured some plans. I am at weight, he said, for a jump. So
Nice.
sometime in the near future, I've got a lot of stuff planned right now, and I don't know, I can't tell you when, but sometime in the near future, of course, it'll be 2 meter. He won't he will not let me do HF because it's too many variables. But I'll be doing a 2 meter out of an airplane jump strapped to that guy. So hopefully he knows what he's doing. I know he does. But matter of fact, he was supposed to jump all 3 days, and the weather just did not permit. So he's not going to jump and make anything dangerous happen. Also, for the first time, I met this guy, Charlie Red Summit. Was really happy to meet Charlie. He does a lot of really cool stuff. I love his summits on the air stuff, and it was really cool to hang out with him. So also met Tom Tango Oscar Mike, but I did not get a chance to take a picture with him. I actually met him at the bar that night, and he was actually getting ready to leave when I actually realized, oh crap, I don't have a picture with him yet. So, but good times. Matter of fact, speaking of the bar, we all went out Saturday night to the Troll Pub. We went out Friday night to the Contest University thing, and we listened to the Spurious Emissions play, and they basically was taking songs from more of their era. I won't say popular songs now, but popular songs, back in the 70s and stuff like that, and they would change them to ham radio lyrics, and it was quite funny, quite enjoyable. But when we went out there and did that Friday night, and then Saturday night we went out to the Troll Pub, And let me tell you, you guys know. I mean, you've seen the happy hours. YouTubers drink, and they drink, and they drink, and this was no different. This is the crew we had with us. Pretty much, if your favorite YouTuber's not in there, there's something wrong because I'm in the pictures, and I have to be your favorite YouTuber, right? But yeah, awesome crew of people at the Troll Pub. A lot of fans out there. Actually, actually, we got to meet N8YO. As a matter of fact, N8YO has now done the fastest CW my radio's ever done on my radio because all the YouTubers. So Friday night before we go out to the contest university, um, they were all the YouTubers were going to Skyline Chili, and I don't know how y'all feel about Skyline Chili, but Skyline Chili makes me feel like I'm going to be spending more time in a campground bathroom than I want to be spending in a campground bathroom. So I said, nah, I'm out. And I went and activated, which that would have been a second activation for that day. So it was good. I went and I got the activation in, and I hear the car pulling behind me. And I thought it was Pat because Pat had to come set up his tent because he got there on Friday. He didn't get there on Thursday when I did. And I hear the car pull in, and I was like, excuse me. I was like, well, that's Pat. Well, then I hear another car pull in. And I'm turning around because I just got done activating. I see N8YO. I see Jason 2.0. I see Tank. I see another guy. I'm sorry, I do not remember your name, but you're on some footage that I got that'll be in the photo experience. But I see TO, like all the YouTubers coming. They're like, we're here to POTA. I'm like, there's the radio. Let's go. So Frank and the other guy activate. Another reason why you should always charge your BioEno battery after every activation. So I hadn't been charging it in a couple of days, but I knew I was good. Well, they're running my radio and they're also charging a 705 off of my battery.
Wow.
And that'll come into play a little bit later. So Frank and the other guy, they do their activation. Hey David, I see you've made it tonight. Good to see you. Hopefully I also see Kurt out there. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you guys can hang around for the second stream as well. We will have a guest on the second stream and lots to talk about on the second stream. But so Frank and the other guy was just doing a double activation back and forth. And while they're doing that, TO is on the handheld, and he literally activates Caesar Creek on the handheld with everybody in the park. It was a piece of cake for him to do. But he does that, and then N8YO does a CW activation on my radio. And then 2.0 gets up, and he's about midway. Well, he's probably actually through his activation, but he's like, man, I think your battery's dying. I was like, there's no way. But I forgot they had the 705 plugged to it, too. Oh. And it started cutting out on him, and so we had to real quick do a quick disconnect and throw another battery. Pat had a lot smaller battery, more of a QRP battery. But Jason finished his activation, and it all worked really good. Another cool thing, Eagle 1 did sell out on Friday at Hamvention. I was really pleased with that. So I'm glad that Tristan's doing really well, and they made a lot of back orders and stuff like that. I really like to see that company thrive because it's such a great antenna. I mean, I've got one. Hayden's got one. Kurt in the chat has one now. Everybody loves the thing. So good stuff. Okay. Also, we had on Saturday morning the family that was on here a couple of live streams ago. The Pearson family, Andrew and Blake and Ryan. I know you guys remember them. They were doing a forum for the use, and it was basically about brothers competing and still being brothers, and all this good stuff. And I'll tell you, listening to them do their presentation reminded me so much of growing up with my brother. I mean, you always got to be the best one. And these kids, they actually remind me so much of myself as a kid, and they're so competitive. And I'll tell you more about that as we're going on here. But they had met, their dad had messaged me like several times. I hope you can make it. I hope you can make it, which I did, and I'm glad I did because they're showing slides in their presentation, and then all of a sudden here comes the big ham radio adventure symbol, and they go on talking this talk about me. So these guys are awesome. Their dad actually showed me in his phone. He has two different alarms set that says KE8PZN on my most popular times that I activate. And the first thing they do when they come in the door is jump on the radio to try to get me. So I mean that's just, it's an honor. It's an absolute honor that I have hunters out there, and I've got a lot of hunters out there. Um, the people that just absolutely had to meet me, that would just sit and hang out at the POTA tent until I came back. I appreciate you guys. It meant the world to me. I have tons and tons of pictures, which will be coming out on that POTA video, of all the people and stuff. It was just amazing, Hayden. I mean, I got to meet Quiet No Talking.
Oh, that's great.
I'm literally walking through the Hamfest. I'm not even near the POTA tent. And I hear somebody yell, "James!" And I look over, and I don't know this guy from Adam. Don't have a clue. He don't, because a lot of people have their call sign hats, and I'm trying to look around and try to figure out who it is and stuff like that. And I walk over to him, and he's like, "I'm Quiet No Talking." And as soon as he says it, I just lose my stuff laughing. You know, I'm like, "Dude, I love working you. You make me laugh every time." He said, "You made me famous." I said, I made you famous. How did I make you famous? And he's like, "Well, you talked about me on your stream about about how I broke through your pileup and stuff. And like 3 or 4 days later, I was doing an activation, and somebody's like, 'Hey, you're the Quiet No Talking guy.' He's like, 'You made me famous.'" I'm like, I don't know about all that, but it was really great, but there were so many people that I got to Hotel India 8 Delta Lima. I wouldn't think I was going to meet somebody from the Dominican Republic, but uh, he was there. I met a couple of hunters from Australia, which was really cool stuff. So lots and lots of good time, and of course, I'm not going to let no cats out of the bag. I got some really funny stuff that'll be on the photo video. I was there. Carrie KB3 Wave was there. Bill K4 NYM was there. So you can imagine some of the antics that we had going on. The boss man, Jason, Mr. POTA himself. Thank you very much. He actually gave me a POTA challenge coin.
Nice.
Metal POTA coin. It's absolutely great. It's in my car right now, or I'd show you. It'll be on the POTA video. It's really, really cool. And he's like, I know a couple people that got them, but he didn't have very many. And he's like, don't show these off. And I was like, okay. He's like, after you leave here, I don't care what you do. Hey Ed, I see you in there. What happens at Hamvention stays at Hamvention. Well, with as many YouTubers as was there, I don't know if anything's going to actually stay at Hamvention. But let's hope some of the stuff does for sure. There were some shenanigans going on. I'll tell you. Like I said, there was a lot of drinking at the Troll Pub. Hey, I'll tell you what. If you're ever in the Dayton area and you like spicy food, go to the Troll Pub and get the Angry Alfredo, because let me tell you, it is really angry. Uh, but it was good. It was great. And it was funny because I was standing in a bar stool and sort of just getting some footage of all the people that was there for us and stuff like that, because we actually had one whole side of the bar. They had it roped off for just us. We had our own door, our own bartenders, and it was really 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 cool. The rest of the bar was over here, and there was plenty of people in there over there too. But they went through another door. We could see them. We could walk over there, but we had our own stuff set up, and it was really really cool. Got to meet a lot of cool people there, and the whole weekend for sure. Uh, it was good to see Ella Craft up close and personal. Um, I've never really got to fool around with any Ella Crafts very much, so it was good to see them. ICOM has their new amp coming out. Got to see that up front and personal. So some good stuff. Got to talk to John from Yazoo, and again tell him, John, the most active activator in the country, the most QSOs in the country is on a 991A. Don't you want that on a DX10?
Yeah, be a 10.
I keep trying to tell him, he needs to send that DX10, but another funny story.
Quality testing.
Right, another funny story. So, I told you guys a week or so ago I've been saving, $5 or $10 back a day for a DX10, and I took that money to Hamvention. I brought it back. I did not spend it at Hamvention, but I did order me a new antenna and tuner the other day, because one of my lovely YouTube compadres, I don't know what they done, but my big antenna tuner here has not worked quite right since I've came back. Thank you very much, Joseph. Yes, we did pass the 700 sub mark. Very very cool. That means we are 300 subs away. Less than 300 subs away now from giving away an Eagle One antenna, and I decided to give away something else. Something that's, well, it might be for sale by the time we get the subs, but it's not quite for sale yet because he doesn't have them in production. But there's a few of them out there. Let's see if I got this because I figured maybe I could push myself a little further on my CW game. I've got 5 or 6 Spark to Parks now, but can you see how small that bad boy is? You just push in the back. There's the paddles.
Oh.
Yeah. Good stuff. This is the K6ARK. And I got it from the man himself. And I told him that I would probably want to purchase one of them off of him to give away that night. So probably will be giving away one of those keys that night as well. And who knows what else with me. I like to give back to people. We hit 1,000 subs. I'm going to be really really happy to hit 1,000 subs for sure. And then just think. Well, I think we'll have the watch hours even when we hit 1,000. I've got it tuned about right, I believe. The watch hours are getting knocked down. I still think we need maybe 1,500 watch hours or something, but I don't see us hitting 1,000 this week, so we'll get it. I guess 2 live streams on a night will help, won't it? But I really look forward to that. But thank you, Joseph. I appreciate it. It is nice to get to 700 subs. Hopefully, we'll get a little bit more before this weekend. And after this weekend, I don't want to talk about this weekend because we got a whole stream coming up about that. But we definitely got some good stuff coming up this weekend. All right, we were on the Pearsons, and they did their forum and stuff, and you know, it was really, really awesome. I'm going to put a video out on that forum because, you know, it just shows you the future of ham radio and the future of POTA is right here in front of your eyes. And if you don't take the time to help out kids like that, shame on you. I'm a big person about helping kids. I've always stopped my activation for youth. I don't stop it for them. They're active. Matter of fact, their mom actually told me. Well, let me get to this last part. So Friday night, they came out to my camp because they were going to do their first activation ever with me. And right before they got there, the bottom dropped out. I mean, it dropped. And we're not just talking rain because, I did, when I come back Monday, I did a 9-park rove and it never stopped raining the whole time. It rained all day Monday. But we're talking crazy lightning. I looked at my lightning app and literally all night long, because I would try to wake up and get one in. No. It was like 60 miles square round circle of nothing but just sheer lightning all around us. It was absolutely just the most brutal lightning storm that I'd seen in a long, long time. And I mean, it was super bright, but we all sat underneath my canopy, which kept filling up with water, and we'd have to push it and make the water go out. But we sit underneath it till about 11:30 that night and just talked. They were asking me questions and stuff. And they're like, well, we can do it Saturday night. We can't tomorrow night because we got our thing early Saturday. This was Thursday night, actually. And I was like, well, tomorrow night I've got a thing I got to do. And I was like, Saturday night I got a thing I got to do. I was like, but I'll tell you what, I will stay after the show on Sunday and I'll get you your first activation. So after the show on Sunday, we went out to John Bryan State Park. And the Pearsons, all three came out and they all three got their first activation. We did a 4 activator activation. And it was really, really fun. But it was funny because poor Andrew, those boys, like if he would, it's his first activation. It's their first activation too. But if he would go a little bit slow trying to get the contact in, they'd be like, come on. I laughed so hard during this activation because they're so competitive and they were just trying to. And I told them, I was like, look, you don't got to do your activations like me. You don't got to bust them out. There's lots of good people. Like, for example, when I was doing Cedar Creek Wildlife Management area, I actually had put it on 6 meter and I called out twice. And no sooner than I call out twice, I hadn't got nothing back yet. Here comes a car whipping it in there. And out pops Curtis, CB3. Help me here. KB3 CMT. And he gets out and we sit there and we talk forever. And I forget that I'm even spotted because I'm sitting there talking to him. But nobody's calling me back. It's 6 meter. But evidently there was people waiting to try to hear me because. And it ended up by the time we got done talking, I just said, crap, it's late. I need to go over to 40. And I just went over to 40 and started calling. But me and Curtis, it was really great to meet him. Really great guy, which I already knew that from. But like, we are 2 totally different activators. He's very slow and methodical, and he takes his time with every activation, every late shift activation. Very great activator. Is his way right? Is his way wrong? They're neither.
It works for him.
Or his way. Is my way right? Is my way wrong? No. It's my way. It works for me. It's what I do, So and speaking of Curtis, I walked around Hamvention all weekend waiting for these lids to start with me, because I'm not on the radio and I could put them in their place a little bit. But one came up to Curtis, of all people, on Sundays and started running his mouth to Curtis and telling Curtis that he was cheating in POTA, that there's no way that he could remember all the contacts that he remembers, that he had somebody at home feeding him through SDR the contacts that are coming through. And I'm like, shut up. What? Are you kidding me right now? I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I mean,
I guess they forgot about pencil and paper as he's writing them all down.
Well, what Curtis does is in the comment notes, because he uses the same software I use, in the comment notes, he'll write, Kilo Romeo, Hotel Lima, Kilo Oscar 4. He writes all them down there, and he's got that list right there that he can just go down, and, whereas me, that's why I'm good for about 5, because mine is just pretty much straight memory. And if you throw me off on that conversation, and that's another reason why I am so quick, because if you throw me off, yes, that definitely has a different style, and it is nice. And I told the boys when they were doing their activation, I said, listen, run the activation the way you want to run it. I was like, if you want to tell every single person that hunts you, hey, you're 5'9" into 1810. This morning I had eggs and an orange for breakfast. I'll probably have steak for dinner. If you want to tell every single one of them that, guess what? It's your activation. You tell every single last one of them that, because it's the way you want to do it. I can't tell you the number of times where somebody will come on and yeah. Thank you very much, Kurt. Yeah, I do have the tendency to bust them out. I have this rush fetish, I guess. When I very first started activating, if I got to a park 40 minutes before late shift, I would not activate because I was scared I couldn't get 10. Now, I try to do it with 10 minutes till, but I mean, I have pushed them like 6 minutes till and see how many I can get. But if I have 10 minutes, if I have from 7:50 my time till 8 o'clock my time, I can get probably 50 contacts. I have gotten 53 or 54. I'd have to look, but I try. One day I'm going to hit 60 in 10 minutes, just for giggles. But yeah, you activate your style. Do things your way, and that's the way you got to do it. But them boys, they did really good on their activation, and their mom did tell me, said, I just want you to know their Elmer has moved away. Of course, I live nowhere near him, but she's like, you're their Elmer now. I was like, okay, I'll take that. And she also told me that if I'm ever in Tennessee, she don't care what time it is, and I need a place to stay, I got a place to stay. Awesome. So I told, when I told them, I said, you don't know what you're asking for. I was like, Tennessee POTA Rove, Tennessee meetup. It's on now. But I had a lot of fun with them, and maybe my most exciting point of the weekend, and maybe that's just because I'm Mr. Competitive. We all know that I'm Mr. Competitive, but K8MRD has officially declared me as the POTA King. So I guess mine and his argument is over finally about that. But Mike has declared me the POTA King. Funny good times. I love Mike to death. I wish I would have got an activation in with him, but he didn't even get in till like 3 o'clock Friday night or something. It's funny because like everything that we'd post on something, he'd post, like if somebody live stream, he'd get in the chat, I'm still in friggin' Chicago. I'm still in friggin' Chicago. Matter of fact, when we were all at my camp doing the activation, I asked Jason, I said, should I text him and be like, we're still friggin' doing POTA and we're not in Chicago. Yes, I will be in Delaware sometime this summer, and meetup. Hmm, I don't know if I'll be doing a meetup in Delaware. It depends on how much time I have, Ed. The plan for Delaware is I'm doing Delaware in a week, every park in Delaware in 1 week. But honestly, my real plan, Ed, is Delaware in 5 days. So I'm gonna if it works out the way I want, I'm gonna have 2 extra days, and then a POTA meetup could definitely happen in Delaware for sure. But you know, the goal was POTA Delaware in a week. If I do it in 5 days, great. If I don't do it in 5 days and I need the seven, I've got it. So that's yeah, it definitely would be boring if everyone activated the same way. Um, just like it would be boring if all you guys hunted the same way. Now, mind you, I don't like the people who try to talk over me or try to talk over other hunters. And here's the thing: I know that you cannot hear every hunter out there. I get that, okay? But I do know you can hear me because you're hearing me say QRZ. If you can hear me say QRZ, you can hear what call I'm calling for. And, I will call for a call and they'll come back to me sometimes. And then I'll call back or I won't even call back. I'll hear their call and I'll just call, you know, Kilo Bravo 3 Golf Radio Golf 59 Kilo 1810. And you don't hear me because some rude guy is just blasting over top of me trying to get into my thing, which if I'm talking, I don't hear nothing. And then I'm like, then I don't hear nothing from you because you didn't hear me. And then I'm like,
Yep.
Kilo Bravo 3 Golf Radio Golf 59 1810. And then the hunter's like, oh, I'm sorry, James, I didn't. Somebody was over top of you, and it's not your fault that somebody was like that. There's Miss
That's
Who in the
my
chat. There's Miss Who in the chat.
Caitlin, Miss Who.
Good to see you out there. Had a good time talking with her this weekend. Her and her brother Connor. Uh, lots of fun talking to them. Um, met him by the POTA tent, and then later they were at the Troll Pub hanging out and stuff like that. Seen him at Contest University. Seen her a little bit everywhere. Uh, so
I
and if
actually watched her
and
interview with T.O. today.
I was gonna say and she now has a YouTube channel, so make sure and check that out. I've subscribed, so why not you? Anyway, let's see how much time we got here. Oh yeah, we got a couple more minutes before we got to wrap up for the second stream. We got another hour of the Ham Radio Adventure Guy tonight. Um, a totally different stream, and we'll go ahead and tell you what that's going to be about. It's going to be about this weekend. There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. We have myself and Pat and Kilo Bravo 3 Wave and a couple other people are going to be doing. Thank you very much for dropping for Caitlin's channel. We're going to be doing DC in a day. So we're going to activate Washington. Hopefully. Now this is not a Ham Radio Adventure Guy plan. This is planned by Pat. So if we fail at this, we're going to blame Pat. But we're going to try to do DC in a day. But I will be up there probably Friday night through sometime Monday. So I will get DC done.
So you're starting at Friday,
I
0
don't
UTC, or
I don't really know I keep getting up with Pat like we need to get the details knocked in. We need to get the details knocked in. But Pat, if you're out there in the chat, you're going to tell me details on the Patreon chat after this for sure. But we're doing DC this weekend. James, Victor Echo 3, Juliet Lima November, and Tom, Victor Echo 3, Tango Hotel Radio are doing a 12-park kilo rove. They're going to kilo in 12 parks this weekend.
Ooh.
And James is actually going to be on the next show with us. And so, matter of fact, do you have him in your Discord?
I do indeed. I think
Okay.
he's in a park now, actually.
Okay. Well, send him the link to the show. Uh,
I will do that.
that way he will have it. And then we're also going to be talking about the YouTubers Hamfest, which is all weekend long. All your favorite YouTubers with lots and lots of cool videos this weekend. So, including this guy right here. And I'm sure you can probably guess what my topic would be. But anyway, that's what we're talking about on the next stream. This stream was all Hamvention. It was the wrap up. I got several videos coming out. I got to edit them, of course. But it took me. I'm still putting out videos from Florida. What are we talking about? But I'll definitely be getting the Hamvention videos out. I've got some stuff I got to review. BioLino hooked me up with a QRP BioLino battery, so just look forward to a review on that. MFJ is sending me some stuff in the mail, so be doing some reviews with that stuff. Lots of good stuff. And I got an antenna tuner coming tomorrow. So good stuff. Other than that, I appreciate everybody that's been here tonight. I am gonna wrap up a few minutes early. That way I can get into the other stream and get set up. I hope everybody that's watching this stream takes their butt over and watches the other stream and listens to me ramble for another hour. But at least I'll have somebody else rambling with me. And of course, my technician, which I appreciate very much, will be over there with us. So good stuff. Everybody, thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and call this one in, and I will see you in about 12 minutes on the other stream. 73.